Hey, we're live. Cool. So, there's nobody here yet because I did not actually intend on doing a live stream. But I still haven't, my computer crashed and gave me the blue screen of death. So I haven't gotten my video editing program going again yet. But this was really cool and I wanted to like capture it. So if anybody shows up, cool. Hey, Super Gigawatt and Robbie Viewers. How's everybody doing? Yes, I'm good. I'm good. Sorry. my computer blue screened of death on me, and so I've just got it up and working again. I haven't got my video editing program going yet, but this is pretty neat. So I just wanted to do this little unboxing thing. Hi, Larry. Hope everybody's having a nice day. Hello, Raymundo. It is disgusting out here in North Carolina. It's like 30 degrees and just super gross rainy outside, and I just had to go to the post office with Cora to pick this up. What are your honest opinions on tennis guitars? I think they make really good stuff, especially for the money. I highly encourage you to get one made custom to your specifications. I think that's the way to go, because I think you're going to get a better end result that way. I've got one of the old Blackies over here that I need to do a demo on. I just hadn't gotten to yet, and I'm definitely behind now that my computer crashed and I had to redo everything from scratch. So that's what I've been doing for the past like 2 days, is just trying to get the computer up and working again. So I have my Cubase and everything working so I can record audio, but I haven't gotten the video editing program installed yet, and I haven't put in all my plugins for Cubase either, so it's going to take me a little while. So we are here today to unbox this. This is from Japan. You guys may know, if you watch my channel, I like Japanese guitars. So this one came up. It was kind of a Christmas present to myself. So actually, they delivered it on Saturday, but Saturday was Cora's birthday, and we were, yeah, it's not as dark as it looks on the camera. It's actually, you know what, I can brighten it up a little bit. How's that? 1:25 p.m. It's you're just an hour later than us. It's 12:25 here. All right. Hopefully I won't cut myself. So we're gonna see if we can get this open. So yeah, that post office delivered this on Saturday, but Saturday was Corey's birthday, and I was not here. We were out at lunch with the family. So I missed it, so I had to wait until today to go to the post office to pick it up. So, here's kind of fun stuff we got here. I apologize if some of this gets loud. Packing material. I bought this from the same guy that I bought my other two Greco guitars from. I have faith that he's done a pretty good packing job, because he has done that in the past. All right. And as I kind of expected, it is inside a sarcophagus. All right. Where did you find that Legend amp? The head there I got from my dad. He found, I think, probably on eBay or something. I've had that for a long time. The cabinet that it's sitting on, I got on eBay, I think, a couple of years ago. And the A60 that I've got over here, I got that on Reverb. You just have to kind of keep your eyes open for them. Once again, really good packing job. This guy's reverb store is JP Sounds Guitar, if you want to go check his out. Yes, my dad is a super cool dude. I'm fortunate to have a cool dad. And he's super helpful. He actually got me got the boot media on a flash drive for me so I could redo my computer. So thanks to Dad, I'm able to do this right now. Otherwise, I would just be staring at a blue screen to death. Well, my dad is cool, but he's also a nerd. He is a nerd. But he's a computer professor. He's a cool nerd. Nerd is chic now. I'm going to get the Victory Sheriff V4 preamp pedal. What do you think of that? I haven't tried those. Actually, I haven't tried any of the Victory stuff. I've heard a bunch of demos, and it all sounds really good, but I have never been able to check one out in person. I would like to. Seems like they sound really cool. All right. Ooh, more Japanese swag. One of the things I like about this guy, and I don't know, maybe some other Japanese sellers do this too, but he always includes like neat little Japanese, you know, kind of tourist paraphernalia type stuff. Maybe paraphernalia is not the right word. Tourist stuff, which is always cool. So let's see what we got from Mr. Shinya today. Some 9-gauge photogenic electric guitar strings. And a very cool wooden folding fan. Check that out real quick. See, when you buy a vintage guitar like this, instead of getting case candy, if you buy one from a Japanese guy like this, you get really cool, neat Japanese stuff. And if you're like me and you really like Japanese culture, this is like super awesome. I love this kind of stuff. Check it out. Pretty cool. So this will go on my shelf of neat Japanese stuff that I've gotten. And of course, we got a very cool, right there, handwritten note from Shinya. It says, "Thank you for your purchase. We look forward to hearing from you again." And I assume that's the same thing written in Japanese. It might just be, "You're stupid, you can't read this." But this is cool. So that's pretty neat. I should make that the thumbnail. What is my favorite overdrive pedal? I like Tube Screamers a lot. I have an original 808 Tube Screamer that I really like a lot. But I also really like, Vertex makes this steel string pedal. It's kind of like a clean drive. It's really meant to be used in front of like a clean amp to kind of give it like the Dumble steel string singer sound. But it works great as a drive pedal, I think. So that's what I'm actively using right now is the steel string. Sounds great. I would show it to you, but it's Velcro to my board. Now I'm keeping you in suspense. Man, I was so mad when this was attempted to be delivered on Saturday when we were out for Cora's birthday lunch thing, and I missed it by like 5 minutes or something. I mean, like we left, and then I got a notification like 5 minutes later, so they tried to deliver. It's like, no, I'm gonna have to wait until Monday. All right. Okay, I'm beginning to see a guitar under here. I'm gonna have to clean up so much. Oh, it's a mystery. It's probably not that much of a mystery based off my track record of what kind of guitars I buy. All right. Well, Rice cat number 1. Well, I know Jazzmasters. I do have a Jazzmaster. It's over on the, well, it's a Squire Jazzmaster, but I like the Jazzmaster shape, but I'm not really super into all the switching stuff. And I don't like the Jazzmaster tremolos. They just feel weird to me. Which is why I opted for that other one, because it's a hardtail. All right, I'm almost got it out here. Ooh, sweet! I love Rickenbacker basses. I'm a huge Rush fan, and old Getty was playing the Rickenbackers all the time on those old like Farewell to Kings and stuff. They're so cool. I would love to get a hold of one of those, even though I'm a terrible excuse for a bass player. I've almost got it. Oh, Moonshell, are you a Rush guy too? Or Rush person? I don't know if you're a girl or that. Ah, yeah. Here we go. Got some Japanese newspaper under the strings. Again, I know this is like a stupid thing, but I love this stuff. All right. Are you ready for the big reveal, everybody? You probably kind of can see it, have seen it already. Here it comes. Oh, oh, oh. It's a Greco Les Paul in Cherry Sunburst. Yeah, look at that. Now, this is interesting because I'm not entirely sure what model this is. He had it listed as an EG800, which is the same as me set back here. However, the pickups were dated like 75, I think. And it has no serial number. And I think they started doing serial numbers in like 76 or something. So I don't know. All right, it shares a lot of traits with the EG800. Like it looks like an ebony fingerboard to me, which would be like an 800 type thing. So this might be like a transitional one, but so you can see the logo. The logo's a bit bigger, I think, than mine. Again, no serial number, but it's got the same truss rod, same kind of tuners. The fingerboard looks the same. The hardware looks the same. It does appear to be 3 pieces of mahogany this way, like you can see the seams there. And it's a 3-piece maple neck, which you can actually see on this one because it's got a more translucent finish. I don't know if this is poly finish. It doesn't look like poly finish. It looks more like nitro, which I thought this one was poly at first, but then I kept looking at it and I kept thinking, man, that looks awfully deep. Because poly doesn't usually look deep like that, if that makes sense, because it doesn't burn into itself. So I ended up testing that with some acetone, and that is, in fact, nitro. So I don't know. This could be nitro. I'll have to check it out. And I don't know if actually the pickups, I don't know if they're stock to this guitar or not. I'll have to pop open the cavity and check it out and everything. But so yeah, that's pretty cool. Hopefully everything works. This one doesn't have fret nibs on it, which is interesting. But the neck feels like identical to the other one. And Treble Picker wants to know how's the weight. It's pretty heavy. Like Maybe not quite as heavy as Mesa actually. Maybe more like 9 pounds. That one's about 10 and some change or something. This one's a little bit lighter than that, but it's solid. It's not chambered or anything, which was one of the things that I was looking for. I wanted the solid guitar. Let's tune it up. Tuner to work. I will let you know about the action in just a second here. I'm gonna tune it up so I can tell it's been detuned, which a lot of people do for shipping, but that is 100% unnecessary. These tuners actually feel a little more sturdy than the ones on Mesa back there. They look the same. Those feel kind of almost like a little worn out. Sorry, and this is super interesting watching me tune a guitar that you can't see. Probably gonna be a little difficult to get this thing to stay in tune because it just came, I'm gonna guess, I don't know, probably 7,000 miles or something, 6,000 or 7,000 miles around the world, basically. Please explain why you shouldn't detune for shipping when you can. Well, okay, it's not that you shouldn't. It's not like detuning the guitar will hurt anything, but it's unnecessary, I guess is what I mean to say. Now, maybe not if you're shipping like a vintage Martin or something that doesn't have a truss rod in it, then you might want to, be a little bit more aware of that thing. But any of these kind of guitars that have truss rods in them that hold up, it's just unnecessary. Like there's this thing that people will be like, oh, don't cut the strings off of it, you'll break the neck. It doesn't work that way. like wood doesn't just go like that. So the guitars are designed to have tension on the neck this way. That's, they're meant to be played that way. So shipping one with the strings at tension is totally fine. In fact, a few of the companies that I worked with when I was working in the guitar store, if you shipped the guitar with the strings detuned, it would actually void the warranty. So they wanted you to ship the guitar with the strings at pitch. So. Okay, so here you go. This is, I think, 75, 76, somewhere in that area, Greco. And I'm not totally sure if it's an 800 or a 700 or whatever. I'm not totally sure. I'm gonna have to do some more research to try and figure that out. The guys on the Greco forum identified the pickups as being 75, but obviously pickups could have been changed, or they could also have been old stock or something like that. And so to me, I'm thinking this is probably like a transitional type model, because it feels, the neck carve and the way everything is done here looks and feels a lot like my 800 back there in Mesa, which is from 77. But so this is very cool. But it does, as far as I can tell, it does have the ebony fingerboard, which is something that you would start to see on the 800 models. So I think the 700 would still have a rosewood board. But I'm not sure if the finish is poly or nitro yet. I'm going to have to do some tests to let you know. Man, this is cool. You can see the indicative maple top there. So you can see that's a solid maple top. And this one is a 2-piece maple top, so it's not a 3 and it's not a ply or anything. This is a solid top. So you can see the seam right down the middle there. It's got a little bit of figuring. I really like kind of plain-ish top guitars, like, you know, like, I mean, I wanted to look at wood, I don't want to, but, you know, it doesn't have to be like super flamey for me to like the guitar. So, see it a little better here. Sorry, I got this super glare happening. It's got a broken knob there. I don't know if you can see that. And there's the back. So you can see it's got a bit of wear on it, but not really any more than my other one does. But the neck feels great. It's like the identical profile to the other one. So the next test here, gotta do some tape. Let's see if we get any like major fret buzz or anything. Just playing chromatically up the neck here. Here we go. A little bit of buzz right there. It's remarkably good. It does not appear to have any major fret buzz other than maybe like right here somewhere. It's a little bit. It's more like string slap than fret buzz. A little bit. But honestly, for a guitar this old and that came from Japan and all that kind of stuff, I mean, it's remarkably good. These were just built really well. Yes, it is another Greco. Yep. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Let's Moonchild, I agree. Japanese lawsuit guitars are often better than the real counterparts of the same era. I 100% agree, which is why I like these so much. And these can be had for much less money. Yes, Joseph, I do have a dealer that I use. In fact, just hang on a second here. I should be able to post a link to this guy's store. All right, here you go. So this is the guy that I bought all 3 of my Grecos from. And he does a good job. He will work with you on the price a little bit. It's a very nice guy. His name's Shinya. So I highly recommend checking him out. Neck relief. Let me look here. It's about where I would set it. It's pretty straight. There's a little bit of relief, but you know, like when I'm doing the old kind of this trick, you know, you could probably fit like a business card under there. So, you know, it's about where I'd set it, honestly. Acoustically, it sounds a lot like my other one. It's really interesting. I mean, that's great. I really like that one. I don't really like Spurzl tuners, honestly. I don't. They feel so bulky to me in the back that it kind of throws off the way the headstop feels to me. I like the hip shot ones a little bit better, and the Grover locking ones are kind of nice too. But my favorite locking tuners are the PRS ones that lock from the top. I kind of had thought about maybe doing the like Kluson style locking tuners that look like vintage tuners with the little tulips, but they have a little knob on the back. I had thought about doing that. This may not need the Mesa. Actually, I think probably could use some better tuners because those are they just feel worn out, like they've just been used a whole lot. I'm gonna plug it up and let's see if the electronics work and how all that goes. Hopefully it won't be too loud. Tom's Project Guitars. I keep stuff original as long as I feel like it doesn't need anything. You know, I have no problem changing stuff on a guitar. Like that doesn't bother me. Like if the pickups don't sound good, then I'll change the pickups. You know, it's one of those kind of things. But if they sound good, then I'll leave them. So it's especially when you're dealing with something like this. You know, if I was dealing with like a late 50s, early 60s Gibson or Fender or something like that, then maybe I would try to keep it all original. Even if it didn't sound as good, I would probably try to keep it just for the historical side of things. But this is a player guitar, which is my thing. I prefer player guitars, you know. Okay. Whole bunch of packing material in here now. All right, so let's see what we got here. You guys let me know if this is like too loud or anything. Oh, that's not going to be too loud. Let me see if I can angle the camera here just a little bit better. Maybe you can see the guitar. And hopefully not see my super messy desk. Hey, there you go. That's pretty good. Can you guys hear that okay? Is that not like breaking up or anything? I have not tried to play guitar through the webcam mic yet, so. That's a very PAF-y kind of sounding pickup. It's kind of sweet. All right, that's our bridge pickup. Let's try the middle position. That's nice. Surprisingly kind of like delicate sounding. Like Bobby Lopez wants to know what year it is. That is a little bit kind of up for debate at this point. I'm not totally sure. He had it listed, the seller guy had it listed as a 75. However, 75 and the kind of look of this guitar don't match up exactly. So this could be like a transitional type model. It could be a little bit later than that. I don't think it's any later than like maybe 76 or something, because there is no serial number, and I think 76 is when they started doing the serial numbers. But man, it feels a whole lot like Mesa back there. That's nice. Yeah, they feel pretty low output to me. Let's try the neck again. Pretty well balanced, I think, actually. I'll have to spray that switch out. Well, I tell you, so far, I think it sounds really good. There's the jazz tone for you. Electric Gypsy Blues. I'm not really a 175 kind of guy. Those guitars are a little bit big for me. I like hollow bodies, particularly like more like thin line type guitars, but there's so much glare on this. Let me see if I can tame those lights just a little bit. That's a little better. There you go. Now you can kind of like see it a little better. It's not so glary. Let's put a little drive on it, huh? See what it sounds like. That's the Ultraphonics. That sounds nice, I think. I'm getting text messages here. It's from my wife. Oh, that's funny. Oh, and Cora reached in from her room, reached around the corner and opened the door. So I'll probably have to wrap it up here in just a minute. I'm on full dad duty during the day. Middle position. My dog is whimpering in the background. She apparently blues makes her whimper. She's like, no, don't do that. Here, I'll put it on a. This is the backspin guitar. It's a little bit more crunchy. How often do you use the middle position? It depends on the middle position of the guitar. Like if it sounds really good, then I'm more likely to use it. I'm kind of a bridge pickup guy. I'm like a rock guitar player, I think, probably for the most part. But like I love the middle position on my DGT now because it's got those pickups that Jose at Planetone did for me, the Statera pickups, and they just sound incredible in the middle position. So I love using that guitar in the middle position. But I had considered maybe after I check this one out and kind of like, give it a good once over and see if it needs any changing anything or messing with the wiring or anything. I thought about maybe putting in a phase switch, like putting in a push pull so that I could put the middle position out of phase on these, because it's kind of a Jimmy Page looking guitar, and I'm a huge Jimmy Page fan. These are very PAF-y sounding pickups, like very kind of pretty low output, very clear, a nice sweet top end, like definitely a cool sound. I dig it. I'll have to kind of like experiment with it a little bit more to kind of figure out, what I want to change and mess with the pickup heights and put my strings on it, that kind of thing. But I think this is really cool. So, it's kind of the twin to around here. It's kind of the twin to Mesa. Which is, of course, my other one. So these are pretty similar time period. Let's see. Flip around backwards here. You see my messy desk there. Yeah, this one's definitely heavier, like for sure, like a pound heavier. Oh, and so you can see this one, there's your serial number. That's where it would be. And this one, of course, does not have one. So, but the neck profile, very similar neck profile. I don't know how well that comes through. Oh. All right. Let me get a guitar stand or something here. All right. Yeah, I agree. Nothing better than New Guitar Day or New Gear Day in general. Joey wants to know, are you a fan of the PRS, or as a fan of PRS, have you tried the Holcomb? I tried the first version of that guitar. I'm going to angle this back up a little bit. Yeah, I tried the first version of that guitar, the like regular tuned one, and I thought it was pretty cool. I liked the pickups. The radius was a little flat for me. I kind of like 10, 12-inch radius, and I think that one was like 20 or something. It was real extreme, so it felt very flat to me. But it sounded really good. And I like that they give you that extra half-inch of scale length for the drop tuning stuff. David, I'm going to answer your question here. So, yes, this is the DGT. It is not scratched. That's a decal. It is a silhouette of a lighthouse because last year my youth group leader I was like in a Presbyterian youth group from the time I was about 12 until I was 18 or 19 or something like that. And last year my youth group leader, she passed away. And the youth group was called the Beacons, and the place that we met up was called the Lighthouse. So this is like a tribute kind of to her. So that's what that is. Because this is like my favorite guitar to play. So, and I get asked that a lot. People are like, "What is that giant splotch on there?" It's a decal and it has some meaning to it. So My next favorite was some guy was like, "Oh well, you know, if you ever want to sell that DGG, I'll take that thing off your hands. You were that giant ugly splotch." I'm like, "Well, no, I don't want to sell it, and you're being kind of a butthead." Do I still have the? You're welcome, David. Do I still have the 3 pickup LP? It was a Greco. No, I don't have that one anymore. I ended up selling that to a guy locally. Well, I did like a cash and some trade stuff, which is how that. You can't really see it, but there's a Marshall 412. That was part of that deal. That guitar ended up being just kind of not my thing for whatever reason. It was a pretty similar year to that one. It was like a 78 and mine's a 77, but for whatever reason that one just didn't like click with me. It didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. It sounded good and it played good after, especially I went in and like redid the frets and everything, but it ended up not being my personal thing. So I ended up moving that one on down the line. But this is more my thing. And I'm just really, really stoked about how cool this looks. Like, man, this is awesome. It's very cool. I'm looking forward to like kind of really getting in, and I'm gonna go in and look and see what the electronics look like and see if I can identify maybe what age this is approximately. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's a good guitar, but just for curiosity's sake. Any recommendations on painting a guitar body? Just a solid color and a gloss finish. Well, that's like asking somebody how do you fly an airplane? I think finish work is all prep work. If you want to do like a good finish job, what you got to do is good prep work. So, you know, use grain filler if you need it. You know, on woods like mahogany and stuff like that, they're very porous. You need to use grain filler. Make sure you use the right grain filler. So if you're going to use like nitrocellulose or something, you probably want to use like an oil-based grain filler so it doesn't freak out. And then you just got to do a really good job sanding. The better you do sanding, the smoother, more kind of like flat you can get the guitar. When you spray the finish on, it's going to work better. That's really the secret to finish work, in my opinion. You can't make up for it by spraying more finish on it. You just can't. It won't work. Even if you put like a metric ton of finish on there, which you could do, but then you kind of ruin the guitar, in my opinion. So that's the biggest thing. Just do really good prep work, and then, you know, yeah, I would be better for. I think you would do a better job, I think, if you spray less coats and like just do more light coats, if that makes sense. Like build it up very gradually. So that would be my suggestion. Kind of depends on what sort of finish you're using. But so yeah, I'm glad I could help. So this is really cool. I'm looking forward to kind of getting into this and seeing, you know, what all's inside and kind of tweaking it to my liking. It's actually set up pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie to you. So there's not a whole lot for me to do to it other than, you know, like if I decide I want to change pickups or something. I don't know. I get a little moody with that stuff sometimes. We'll see. I have to settle in with it, put my strings on it, try it out, see how it feels. And I definitely need to spray the switch out. It's a little dirty. Should be expected. Mid-70s guitar. Also, just in case any of you guys are interested in this, this is going to be a little while coming, but I did a video a little while back about relic guitars and how I don't think they're proposers. I think relics are cool and stuff like that. And so I'm going to do an entire tutorial video from like complete scratch all the way to finished on how to do a good convincing relic job. And not so you can pass one off as an old guitar, but so, I mean, you know, so if you want that look and that feel, you want the relic thing, I'm going to teach you how to do it. Because it can be done. And furthermore, the guitar we're going to use for that is this. This was like the cheapest, like kind of decent guitar I could find new. So this is a Squier Bullet Mustang HH. It's like a $150 guitar. And we're going to do a relic job on this guitar, and we're going to make it look like an old Mustang. And I think it's going to be super cool. So I'm looking forward to doing that for you guys. That's going to be a big project. And I'm not sure if I need to do it in sections or not. You know, if I need to do it as one video and kind of just shorten things, or if I really need to do it in sections. So we're going to be getting into that before too long here, but that's coming on the horizon towards the end of the year. But anyway, yeah, I agree. They're really good for the money. I have a Affinity HH Jazzmaster that was only like $200. That's a great guitar. So anyway, well, I think it's about time for me to wrap it up, guys. Thank you for sticking around and checking this out. If you've been around from the beginning, I appreciate it. So this is gonna be a lot of fun for me to mess with, and there'll be like a demo and stuff after I kind of like really get in and get to know it and do all that stuff. So very cool. Opium Vivo, it's a Greco from somewhere in the mid 1970s. I'm not totally sure yet. We're gonna have to figure that out. But man, it feels really good. I'm excited to get into it. So anyway, thank you guys all so much for stopping by. After I get off here, I got to clean up this giant mess of packing material, and then I've got to work on getting my video editing program working again, because Blue Screen of Death just killed everything. So I got my audio software back, but I got to get my video editing software back so I can actually do some stuff. So anyway, thank you guys all so much for stopping by. Appreciate it. And hopefully I'll have something out new for you within a couple of days. So, all right. Take care, everybody.